to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about how my work changed and improved in 1 year. And this was back in 2018, last year, when I did the 52-week project. So I'd like to talk a little bit about what I think happened with my work in 2018 and how it evolved and how I did improve. And I do think I improved from looking at the first photo shoot of the year to the last photo shoot that I did. I really feel like my photography went through a totally different journey to what it usually would in a year. And I think that was because I found beauty photography, and I had never really considered doing that so specialized. And it only really occurred to me in the last few months of the year to really start doing more with that and to keep honing in on my skills with it. And I think that was a real big changer for me in 2018 because I hadn't done a lot of studio work. I dabbled in studio for the last couple of years, but I hadn't been in there all the time. And suddenly I went from location shoots to being in a studio all the time. And it was really such a big change. And I felt like almost I was starting from scratch again. I was starting photography again and I knew nothing. And that might sound really intimidating, but for me, having done photography since I was 15 and I'm now nearly 28, that was so exciting for me. The fact that I didn't know anything, I didn't know enough. And I felt like I just had to keep learning and improving with every shoot, and I missed that feeling because that feeling is what I first had when I started photography. It felt like you could almost see your improvement with every shoot. You know, with every shoot you would do different retouching processes, you'd try a different action, you'd dress the model differently, you'd get them to pose differently, you'd feel more confident with each shoot you do. And for such a long time, for so many years, I'd lost that feeling because I felt like I was doing the same thing over and over and over again. And so beauty photography really opened my eyes to what I could be achieving with photography. And I didn't realize how much I'd love it because I've said this on different occasions, but I always felt more of a connection to makeup than what I ever have for fashion. I think that's because I always loved makeup more. I'd always loved it myself and used it myself and loved collecting it. And as in terms of fashion, I was not so much the same. I love fashion, but I don't necessarily feel it on that personal level all the time. So makeup was just such a huge change for me and beauty. So I think that was part of the reason of why my work developed so much, particularly in the second half of the year, because that was when I really started to do more with beauty photography. I think just doing that one new thing and trying something new just sparked this whole wave of excitement for my work. And I felt like that was part of the reason it improved so much in the second half of the year, because I felt like for the first part of the year it was okay. I wouldn't say it was improving significantly with each shoot that I did, but I would say that the thing that helped me improve my work in 2018 and shift dramatically was the fact that I was shooting every week. The 52-week project was very hard for me to do last year. I was traveling for a third of the year, and that was really hard to keep up with. I don't know why I decided to do that project in a year where I was traveling so much. But honestly, I really did try and stick with it because I thought it's now or never. I made that promise to myself at the beginning of 2018 to keep shooting and to keep experimenting because I wasn't doing that enough in the years prior to that. So I do definitely want to go through with you guys like what my images were throughout the year and how I improved, and just go through a few sets of images that were my favorites from 2018 and particularly the ones that I felt like I had the most improvements with. And I would definitely recommend for any of you guys that are struggling to improve with your photography, set yourself a challenge like the 52-week project, because that helped significantly, and I'm so glad I saw it through to the end. It was hard, and there were weeks where I didn't want to do it, and models would pull out, and then I would be stuck, and I'd have to do 5 shoots in a week. But honestly, it was such a good thing for my photography overall, and I think that's definitely the reason that I improved, is because I was just getting out there and I was shooting so much. You know, I do want to do this motivational series because I do get so many questions about, you know, how do you stay inspired? How do you keep motivated? How do you try new things all the time and find that inspiration to do that? And it's not easy. I struggle with all the same things that everyone else out there struggles with. Probably more so because I am definitely a queen at procrastinating in a lot of situations. But I do want to do this series to get you guys away from procrastination and show you how I would generally find that inspiration and try new things, because I think that really helps to look at someone in your field, seeing them struggle and seeing them do it and get through it at different times. So I really want to show you guys how I've developed my work across the year and show you some of the images that were my favorites overall. So guys, I wanted to go through a couple of sets of images here, just the comparisons that I showed on screen earlier, and make it a little bit
more make more sense of it to you guys and why I chose these images to show. So these two images here, the first one is from my first shoot of the year and the second one is from one of my last photo shoots of the year. And I feel like this is where you can see some of the most dramatic difference between the two images and between the beginning of the year and the end of the year. So I was definitely focusing on beauty photography more at the end of the year, and at the beginning of the year I was just about to go off on my around the world trip, so I was doing more location shoots. And I can just see the improvement so much between these two photos with color grading skin tones, with color grading the image overall, and just the detail difference in between the two images is really, I think, the things that stand out most for me. And the second photo is one of my favorite images that I've probably ever taken, so I can just dramatically see the difference here. This second comparison here is one of my first beauty images of the year, and the second image is one of my last beauty images of the year. So in April I had just returned from my around the world trip and I had started doing a little bit more studio and went straight into the studio and did a beauty shoot first off, and I can really just see everything. There's just so much difference in between the two photos. I think the lighting really makes a difference, and also the way that the image was edited. There's more detail in the second image, and I think the composition overall is just better. I think I was just learning how to compose for beauty photography, and that's just so different compared to what I was doing with location shoots all the time. So I think you can really see a difference here, even with just around 7 or 8 months worth of work in between. It really does make a difference when you're in a studio or you're in or you're photographing pretty much every week. You can really make a difference with your work. And this last comparison here I really wanted to show you guys because it's this type of shot I was really trying to achieve for a while and I just couldn't get it right. And even in October I had tried it again, and it's kind of like an up the nose shot that doesn't sound great, but it really does work for beauty photography a lot of the time. And I was really trying to get it right. I still don't think I achieved it at all in October, but I really kept at it between October and December. And I wouldn't say there was too much work in between October and December because I did go overseas again to Japan and Korea during that time. So I do think that there's a huge difference there though, and I really did keep trying to get that shot, and I think in the end I really did achieve it, and I achieved something for my portfolio. So it just shows that a little bit of perseverance can pay off in the end.
So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do. And let me know what else you want to see on my channel. Let me know if you like these motivational videos and if you're finding them really good, or if you want me to add something else in there in future weeks, let me know and I will try and add them to my request list. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!